Welcome to our fifth theory video for From Season 3, where we talk your comments and react to them. I am Dan. That is Bagface. That is Billy.
Yo.
And to get in these videos, all you got to do is watch our videos, our weekly recaps, and comment on them. We pick the best ones. And we also just rolled out, starting last week, video submissions. So you can submit your videos on TikTok, Instagram, or Twitter, and that's how you can get on the show, actually be on the show. So we have one from Dora, and her podcast is called Hall Preezy Universe. So check out what she has to say, and we're going to react to it now.
Okay, so I'm going to start with this theory. My first theory is that there's a hierarchy of monsters. The bottom level is the monsters that we see that eat you and kill you like enforcers. I think there's probably maybe two more levels above that. Like the cicadas and the crows, whatever controls them, they're a second level of monster that they get used as just familiar like eyes, or even maybe these monsters turn into them during the day to be able to view people, while the vicious flesh-eating monsters stay in the caves at night. And then I think the level above that is whoever the man in the yellow suit is that Victor's mom was drawing in the basement before she came to FROMville. Which brings me to my second theory. I think Ethan died back in season 1 and got possessed by the cicadas, and that's why Fake Thomas told Jim these are not your kids anymore. Because if you notice, whenever the monsters, like they do with Randall, where they kind of just hovered while the cicadas were putting in work. If you remember in the RV scene, the monsters don't get very close to the RV when Ethan starts randomly seizing. Because remember, he had kind of just been passed out and okay until that moment, and then you just see him like seizing, freaking out type of thing. What if the cicadas got in him, but he's such a naive little kid, he didn't notice that that's what actually happened? Or maybe there's even things that Ethan hasn't said that happened to him. That's why he's so like, oh, Julie, or, Victor, blah, 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 because he's just a little kid. So he doesn't know any better. He doesn't know that these things are important that need to get told.
Cicada, tomato, before people comment that. You know what she's saying. So I think that's a fabulous theory, and definitely check out her channel. Is going to be linked below, her YouTube channel. They're brand new. They're just getting started, so we want to support them also. FROMily. We're FROMily, right? So what do you guys think of that?
Yeah, I like the idea of the hierarchy. I think we've kind of been hitting that on the theory videos, and whether they are the crows or the crows are something separate and we don't see what the crows turn into yet. Are they the people on the outside of the settlement? But I do think she's dead on. Now, as far as the Ethan stuff, it could be possible. I do think this show's done a pretty good job of making sure the characters do point out, unless it's a completely traumatized past event. I think they've done a pretty good job of making sure they get it out.
I think I agree with everything except for the Ethan stuff. The phone call was probably more along the lines of your kids are going to be taken in the future unless like they're already gone. That's the kind of vibe I got from it, at least.
Yeah, well, it's definitely something to think about. I haven't heard anyone say that yet, so it's interesting to say the least. But yeah, the hierarchy one, we mentioned that last theory video. We've been talking about that a little bit. So I think there's something there with that. The man in yellow, I think there's going to be something above. Maybe it's those things out by the lake that we've been hearing, not seeing yet. We'll see if that comes into play later. I asked people to see what they got with the numbers 2659 because Tabitha says that right here.
This one says 2659. I don't know, Jake.
So that's the numbers we got. Did they say those numbers for a reason? So we got some people that dig into that. From Robert Toner, 354, 2659. 2 plus 6 divided by 2 is 4. 5 plus 9 divided by 2 is 7. Tilly has 4 kids and 7 grandchildren. And there's one that goes with this.
This is at Dragon War. By the way, Tilly said that she has 7 grandchildren, and in the tunnels there are 7 children. Coincidence? I think not.
Oh, shit. Good catch.
Yeah.
And that's not that we should have mentioned that before. This is not the first time she's mentioned 7 grandkids on the show. So now mentioning it twice, it's definitely not a coincidence. I mean, are they her grandchildren? Maybe. I don't know. But the idea of 7 and 7 is not a coincidence.
Yeah, well, we had someone in the video submission last week, Damage Battle Props. He was trying to debunk Tilly is evil, and now this is kind of bringing it back. Maybe not evil, but she has more to play than what we're led to believe. So it's interesting. I like it.
I could also see it as maybe Tilly's lucky or like angelic or something, like 777. I don't know.
Yeah.
It could be a bunch of different things. But the grandchildren thing would be fucking wild.
It hunkers back to talk about Tilly from last week when we were saying like, hey, the crows hit right when she was going to turn the tarot card and like it's a good force. Or maybe Tilly made the damn crow come and hit because she didn't want to reveal the card. She knew what the card would be. Like, they're giving us enough where we can fairly debate either side, which is really cool.
Very true.
All right, so this one is from the Arithmetics. Number 1, the numbers in the bottles are probably set the destination where the tree will get you. They are coordinates, but might be entangled with some quantum thing, so Jade will need to figure out how it works. Number 2, the camera probably has captured an evil spirit that's still attached to Julie. That's why they didn't show it in this episode. My guess, it'll be Julie's face as she was in the end of season 2 when they were chained to the wall.
So someone goes along with that. Dontre Watson, 9352. Hey, I think the picture Elgin took of Julie will have something on it. Maybe a spirit or something behind her. Because she does mention not only hearing screaming, but feeling it. Think about it. Why would they show Elgin's picture, but not her? Interesting. That's true that we didn't see her picture.
I saw a post. I don't know if she posted it on Instagram or not, but someone reposted on Twitter. She posted a picture of all of the Polaroids that they took in that episode, and they're all normal. And I feel like if they were going to put something in the Polaroid, they would have done it practically and not like Photoshop it in the show later, because that's a pain in the ass and a waste of money. I think that scene might have just been setting up a nice relationship between Elgin and Julie so that there can be a sad loss at some point in the Elgin or Julie category. That's my theory right now on this.
Okay.
This show tortures all these characters so much that we can't even imagine them just giving a nice conversation. We're like, oh no, that's an he's an evil spirit. It's like,
yeah, they definitely are setting up a relationship between those two. So what Bag said, I think, is definitely possible. But I do want to see that picture now that people mention it. Doing back-to-back comments, and there were more than that in the comment section. I saw a bunch of people talking about this. So a lot of people are wondering. So I wonder if we'll see that picture or if it's just a red herring, or if it never comes up again. When I don't know. We'll see. I could see it go either way.
next one. This is my handle. What's yours? A few things I want to throw out here. 1, pay attention when Harry is standing in front of the painting of the Anghkooey kid in Victor's room. Look closely and you'll see what seems like a map of all the faraway trees according to Victor's memory. 2, don't most modern ambulances like the one that's now in FROMville have ultrasound machines? We can get to that. Maybe that's how we'll find out Fatima is actually pregnant. 3, who crashed into Henry and Tabitha? I'm thinking it was that creepy priest, and we'll see him again in future episodes. 4, I think 2659 is an address. 5, Kimono Lady is going to show up in that Polaroid of Julie. Thanks for all that you do. You guys are awesome.
Thank you for the compliment. Let's start with number 1. So here is a screenshot of Henry standing in front of that painting, and it does seem to be a map of some sort, a map that only Victor could draw, so that could be true for sure. And 2, the ambulance thing, I don't know if that's true with ultrasounds. Is that
They'll
true?
have local, I think, ultrasounds, and I think they could check to see, say, if someone's bleeding internally, maybe they can kind of Doppler it like that. But it is an astute question because, and we'll do something about the preview for next week, but they mentioned the ultrasound machine in the preview.
Oh yeah, which we're doing that in like 2 days. So we're doing that for the first time. We're going to break down the preview for episode 6. We're going to do theories and, a bunch, just more content, more From stuff, because we love it. It's so fun.
I'm actually pretty interested in the end, the number 3, who crashed into Henry and Tabitha. I kind of thought of that initially, but it just like snapped out of my mind so quick because I was so excited that Tabitha was back in town. Oh, maybe there's people on the outside that are working for people, or like entities on the inside that are like sending people into situations where they're ending up in the town, which would be super cool.
Dharma.
Yeah, Dharma. Well, listen, the priest knew the sex of the baby without asking Thomas's sex. He was like, "What happened to the boy?" He said that. So that priest is shady. So that would be interesting if it was him that crashed into them. Another person speculating on the Polaroid of Julie. So it's out there, man. A lot of people are thinking that.
Next one we got is at Savannah Worth 2495. The numbers in the bottle tree are coordinates to select the next people to come into the town. Randall and the other 2 cicada people are going to become monsters, and so is Fatima. This is how everyone will die unless they figure out how to free the children, which no one seems to be taking seriously except for Tabitha. And Julie is right. The town is just messing with them, but is never going to let them go until they do the right thing. Free the children.
You think that's the answer to everything? freeing the kids?
I always thought that in my mind that like freeing the kids was going to make things worse or in some way. Somehow the kids were a sacrifice or something. I don't know. Maybe that is a chain to break, but it just seems too on the nose. I mean, they've seen it. It's been told, right? I'm curious if that would be the be all end all.
Could see it being like a stepping stone, and it ends up making things worse. Almost like I feel like it's a good red herring because they've made it such an obvious point multiple times in the show of like, we got to save these kids. Maybe end of season 4, everyone will save the kids and you'll be like, oh, okay, sweet. They're going to get out of FROMland. And it'll be like, no, that was like step 1 in leaving kind of thing. I could see that being how it goes.
Like, it's like, it can't be that easy type of thing, right?
Yeah.
So I'm curious to see where that ends up. The next one is from a Discord member. And if you guys want to join our Discord, we're doing a special. You can join for $1. This is how you do it. And you can talk your From theories all day long with everybody we got in there. It's tons of fun. People have awesome things to say, a lot. And yeah, you can join for $1. So this is from Larissa Baker. I think Tabitha managed to safely go through the tree to the lighthouse because the lunchbox Victor gave to her had his house number in it. It's where Victor is from. Maybe they all need a certain destination with the house number to get through the tree safely and to the lighthouse. Maybe that is what the numbers in the bottles are.
That's pretty legit. That'd be pretty cool if all the numbers in the bottles in the tree was someone figuring out where this tree can take them, and they're like going back and forth kind of, and like leaving coordinates of where to get to certain places. That'd be friggin' neat.
I want that number. I know we'll talk about them saying like, where's the motel? It'd be cool if the motel was 2359, right? Like the certain things like that number is the passcode to some of these locations, right? It's the it's like if they were secret keepers, like we're in Harry Potter here. You need the numbers, and when you have the numbers, all of a sudden you have access. I think that's cool.
That's
we got to remember them. 2659. We got to remember them.
659.
They're going to matter like the lost numbers, which I know you guys can recite on top of your heads.
Yeah, I never
which I can't do. I cannot do. The next one, finally, someone brings up the meaning of Anghkooey, and I'll put up on the screen afterwards some facts about this.
Tiovu 5557. Anghkooey is the name of the trickster god in the Sumerian religion. I'm surprised no one mentions this. I've loved the idea, and I want it to be the case that child in white is not as angelic as we led to believe. You know, he was Victor's only friend for so long. Why didn't you help? You know, when you get to the lighthouse with Tabby and throw her out the window, like the
boy in white,
gives off someone that's playing a game to me in a lot of ways.
Yeah, he's kind of been absent lately. I haven't seen him in a minute. Where's he been?
Terrorizing people.
Yeah, Ethan used to see him. Victor used to see him.
Last time we saw him was in the real world, right? With Tabitha.
Yeah, in the real world, yeah. So I wonder when he's gonna pop back up again. I'm sure that's happening soon.
That little bastard hit him with the car.
Oh, yo. Oh man, I love that. That'd be crazy.
I just looked it up on Google, just like a quick search. The only thing I could find is people think the word might be derived from mythological Celtic figure Anghkooey, who's the personification of death, who brings spirits of the dead to hell.
Oh shit.
Yeah. Pretty fucking hard body, man. If maybe they're saying the name of the big bad in the show, I can see that.
That's cool. Yeah. Like that's the god that they're like. Actually, that makes a lot of sense. It would be like this whole thing's a big game, right? So like a trickster god could, you know, and that, again, that when you do the loss, it's like a Jacob and Man in Black type of thing. Their whole thing's a big damn game, but the game is like the existence of the world, and they're just playing a game. You know, like I like that.
I think one of the coolest parts of Lost is the idea of just like, what do gods do when they get bored? I feel like this is what they do.
Sick.
Yeah.
Fox.
Seriously. Yeah.
For real.
Interesting stuff. I like that a lot.
This one is from Officer J Talks. Theory time. This does not change my theory about the monsters picking candidates from last week. However, what if the missing hotel is the connection between all residents of FROMtown? What if the motel is some sort of doorway that pops up in different places and each resident has stayed in the motel prior to seeing the tree since they were all on a journey prior to arriving? You check in, and when you check in, you swap dimensions, ultimately leading to a one-way trip to FROMtown. The previous residents could have figured this out, and the numbers in the bottles could have been the motel rooms they were in prior to coming to FROMtown. The reason Tabitha was able to get out was because she wasn't brought to FROMtown through the motel. They were in an RV, no need to get to motel when you are in a house on wheels. They were summoned differently. Maybe only the Matthews family can exit via tree, and everyone else only ends up in different parts of the town. P.S. Dale wanted to leave the town so bad and ended up in a permanent fixture in the town.
I love that.
Yeah, that's true. Before I read the next one, are they ever gonna like dig him out of that pool?
No.
And like give him a burial, or just
no, he's there.
He'll just stick there.
Terrifying.
Yeah, that's crazy. This was a last minute addition to the video. So someone else talks about the motel, right? O State Ray 3504. I'm starting to think at this point the monster characters that take human form at night were guests at the missing motel. Not sure what happened to them yet or what made them demon creatures. That's interesting. The motel thing I never thought of until Henry brought it up. I never thought of it. Now I can't stop thinking
The
about
motel, I like the idea of, and you can go two avenues with that. The idea that they've all stayed at that same motel and that's a checkpoint, like they're saying, that leads into this one way into the town. Or maybe along their travels in, like if you're going with the numbers, maybe they all stayed in a 2359, right? There's something that number is going to pop up in their backstories, and that was the number, right? That's another way, but I never thought about the motel, and now like you said, I'm like, I want to talk about.
There's a few people on the show though, because I don't think that bus that ended up in season 2 in the town, it hadn't stopped anywhere yet. I don't think, because they were talking about how they weren't going very far from their destination. I don't think they would have stopped at a motel.
Yeah, Tilly said they were going to the racetrack.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's true. That's a hole in that theory.
In the route number, though, right? Like these are the things we can start to find out.
Yeah,
there's definitely something up with the motel, though.
Something up with it, man. Why motel sign, pool, no motel?
There's a motel sign here. There's a pool. Where's the motel?
I can't believe I never thought of it until Henry said it, but there's something there with it. So yeah, I like it.
This is at Spirited Dad. I think this show is working off the Lost playbook. Some people were chosen to come here. Others were just in the wrong vehicle at the wrong time. The boy in white, which I also believe is the same thing manifesting as Abby and Father Kotri, is able to bring people there somehow to try to help. The numbers in that bottle could represent the people that have been brought there that are capable of saving the kids from the tower or have a unique connection to the town. Like Tabitha could be the 2,647th person to arrive or whatever. I think this is a reverse Lost Island, a place with darkness instead of light at the heart of it. I think people are weak and feed off of their suffering. The Anghkooey kids' suffering is what keeps the place running. All the extra suffering from the other arrivals just gives the place more strength.
How to give you the Lost one? I know you love those, Bill.
I like that. I like the idea of the fact that, like they've all said, the more they get upset and the sadder they get, the worse things get, right? And it's like it's like when they maybe all decide to fight back. We've seen when they've tried to fight back and get hopeful, the town smashes them down, right? But like the idea is they need to kind of prove a point and keep pushing, and right now they're not doing that. They're just crumbling right now, so things suck.
Yeah.
When I was trying to think, like, is the town purposefully pulling in people that are in like a certain state of mind? Because you got like Jim and Tabitha just lost Thomas, and like, you know, Julie and Ethan lost their brother. There's also Kenny, whose dad had dementia kind of thing, and it was wrecking his family. There's like a few, I guess Tilly had cancer. There's a few people that like, it almost seems like in Lost, they was bringing everyone to the island, but then it was narrowed down to like a certain number of people. How many? It was like 13 people. I don't remember how many it was or something, but they had like been crossed out on this big wall. So maybe it's bringing in like people that have a background in like suffering or something like that.
Mourning. They're all in mourning.
Yeah. They're all in some way they've like lost a person or something like substantial to themselves.
Yeah,
so
Mary
was Boyd then? Because Boyd, his wife was with him when they were there. I mean,
and they were doing good. That's the one I was thinking of.
Yeah, he just retired. Was going to go on his boat.
He was also in the military, so dude knows suffering.
And then Mary going through addiction. There's a bunch to think about with that, the connection of everyone, you know?
Yeah.
There's a lot there. So that's what we got for this one. If you guys want to be included, again, all you got to do, watch our weekly recaps, comment your theories on those. And then if you want to be in the video like you saw earlier, just DM us or tag us on Instagram, Twitter, or TikTok at Scene Invaders, and we'll get you in the video. I think it's a lot of fun. You know, more interactive, right? Get people involved. Shout some people out. It's a lot of fun that way. If you like this video, please like and subscribe. If you want to join our Discord, again, $1. Thanks so much for watching. We will see you next time. Later.
Peace.